Well, I guess we'll start and stumble through this. Thanks for the lunch, that was great. My name is Carl Barstead. I'm from Housemaster Home Inspections here on Vancouver Island. I'm glad to be here today to talk with you today about a topic that crosses the mind of just about every home seller and listing agent at one time or another, and that is, how do I pass the home inspection? Well, Housemaster, for over 30 years, we've been working with real estate professionals and buyers and sellers and looked at over 2 million homes. So you'd think we would know something about how to pass a home inspection. But really, it's a misconception. There is no real pass or fail with a home inspection. But there are several things that home sellers can do to help make the whole process go more smoothly and ensure the best possible outcomes for all parties concerned, and the least inconvenience and the least stress for them and you. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about in our brief talk here today. So in our time together here today, we'll help outline the steps that you and your sellers should take to help ensure a smoother path to the closing table. We'll discuss the realities of today's real estate market and the need for sellers to be proactive about the home inspection. We'll discuss precisely what a home inspection really is and not, and we'll look at how your seller can best prepare their home for the sales process and the eventual sale of their home, and the eventual home inspection, of course, too, as well as what they can actually expect on the date of the inspection. And then we'll talk about what to expect after the inspection and offer some tips on dealing with the findings of the inspection report. Is this volume okay? It sounds like I'm getting feedback. Okay, good. So of course, today's home buyers are concerned about home values and their long-term real estate investment. And they know they have a lot of choices. As a result, buyers are taking more time deciding which home is truly right for them. Once they go to contract, we know that most buyers will opt for a home inspection. Not because they don't trust the seller, but because it's an opportunity for them to learn more about the home and its systems and how they all work, and ultimately to protect their investment. Most buyers will accompany the inspector throughout the inspection and most likely come back to the seller with some items that they'd like to see either repaired or negotiated. This is a common situation, and if your sellers can anticipate this in advance, they may be more willing to negotiate with a buyer on realistic requests, bearing in mind that the buyer wants to buy the house and the seller wants to sell the house, and so arriving at a reasonable middle ground is the best for all involved. So one of the things sellers and buyers need to keep in mind is that in reality, no home will pass or fail a home inspection. Our tips today are designed to help you prepare your home sellers with information about the home inspection process. It's amazing how many people have no idea what a home inspection really is. So a home inspection should be the evaluation of all the accessible major elements of a property, performed by a trained home inspection professional. A home inspection is designed to educate the buyer on the condition of the home, covering the major systems and elements, so that they can make an informed decision and they know what they can expect when they move into the home. A professional home inspection will take approximately 2 to 3 hours. Amazing how many people we go there and they say, well, you're only going to be 15 minutes, right? So, professional home inspection service providers like Housemaster encourage buyers to go along on the inspection and actually tag along with the inspector as he documents his findings. This gives the buyer the opportunity to ask questions and gives the inspector the opportunity to show the buyer how to operate many of the systems in the home. It also makes the final written inspection report more meaningful. The inspector will report on all the major elements and systems in the home, from the roof, siding, walkways, driveways, foundation, walls, ceiling, floors, heating and cooling systems, electrical systems, plumbing systems, and all built-in appliances. So before the home inspection, home sellers can help set the stage for an overall pleasant learning experience for the buyer by correcting minor, easy-to-address issues, so the inspection will not be full of minor, distracting concerns. Basically, confirm that the utilities are on: electricity, water, gas, fuel, oil, etc. Pilot lights should all be turned on for hot water heaters, gas fireplaces, etc., because actually the inspectors are not allowed to turn those on at the time. Their insurance won't cover them. and inform the inspector of any defects or non-functioning systems. There are three important things sellers should remember as well regarding the final 24 hours prior to the inspection. No fireplace or wood stove should be operated the night before or the morning of the inspection, because they should be cool and clean for inspection. If there are pets in the house, ideally they could be not there, but at least let the inspector know that there's pets there. We often get, don't let the cat out. Well, we try our best, but it's just another distraction. If you can get your sellers to control their pets, it'd be good. And bearing in mind that the inspector will be operating the dishwasher, well, why not leave it full of dirty dishes with detergent in it, and then you come home to clean dishes and the system will have been operated. So when the big inspection day finally arrives, tell your sellers not to be nervous. Here are a few things that should make certain the inspector has access to all the major elements and areas of the home. So just unlocking and removing locks from gates and closets and panel doors. In a perfect world, removing some stored items so the inspector can actually see the walls in the garage or the basement. If possible, clear some of the things from underneath the sink so they can see the plumbing. Remove items in attics and crawl spaces so he's got access so he can get around in there. And of course, the electrical panel cover will be removed, so we have to have access to the panel. And deactivate all security alarms. So after the completion of the inspection, the buyer will receive a written report detailing the findings of the inspection, including all full-color pictures of various conditions and features of the home. The report will be uploaded to a password-protected website and can be easily shared with other parties at the buyer's discretion. Of course, we have to have the buyer's permission. Your first step should be to contact the buyer's agent and see if you can get access to that report to see what's really going on with it and get a briefing on what, if any, repairs the buyer might be considered requesting. Then connect with your sellers and give them an update. Timely communication can be very comforting and ease much anxiety about the inspection process. So just communication, like in most things, is really important. So one of the greatest advantages of educating your seller about the inspection process and getting them to do some of the tips we've covered here today is that they will already be a little less emotional when it comes to the report's findings. Reminding them to remain objective is very important at this point. Making certain the seller doesn't take the findings of the report personally is crucial to getting the deal closed. Remind the seller that all homes have some flaw or another, and that they should not be insulted or react rashly if a buyer wishes to renegotiate the selling price or requests a repair to be made as a result of the report finding. All too often, sales can fall apart as a result of misguided emotions instead of real dollar issues. Preparing the seller to move forward, addressing concerns the buyer might have post-inspection will simplify and speed up the process for everyone. So the tips I presented here today will be very helpful in minimizing post-inspection issues. However, more and more sellers are going a step further and opting to have their house pre-inspected before a buyer comes along. Pre-inspections or seller inspections are gaining great momentum in many areas. After all, why wait until there's a contract on the line to find out if there are any significant defects in the home? Seller disclosure requirements are also causing sellers to take note that it may be beneficial to take proactive measures to protect themselves legally during the sales process. Today's seller wants to close their deal knowing they have made a full disclosure on the condition of the home sold. Ultimately, a seller inspection can save buyers and sellers a lot of time, money, and headaches. Sellers who arrange for a housemaster pre-listing inspection enjoy several marketing, legal, and financial advantages. By having a professional home inspection report available to the buyer, sellers now have several valuable options. Of course, the first one is make the necessary repairs, because every study has shown that homes in good condition sell faster and for a higher percentage of their original listing price because needed repairs have already been addressed. Price the house. When you're doing your listing in the first place, it takes into account the home's condition. A higher price if the home has been well maintained and has newer upgraded systems, or a price that reflects the less than perfect condition. It reassures buyers that what they see is what they get, which ultimately will lead to a smoother path to closing. It reinforces the level of professionalism of the real estate professionals and the commitment to sell the house on the part of the seller. It highlights the assets of the home, pointing out major systems that have recently been updated or repairs made. And it helps to market the home by marketing the home as a pre-inspected home. So a Housemaster pre-inspection will allow your listed home to stand out from other listings. Once the Housemaster pre-listing inspection is complete, a prominent Housemaster pre-inspection sign logo can be posted on your online listing, and a lawn sign can be placed on the front lawn of the property. Prospective buyers and real estate agents will understand that a home that has a pre-listing inspection unique benefit over other similar homes. At your request, tent cards, things like this, can be placed throughout the home so that buyers and agents touring the home are reminded that a recent professional Housemaster pre-listing inspection report is available for review. A pre-inspection can give your listing the edge, and buyers definitely appreciate knowing the condition of all the major elements of the home up front. Documentation regarding repairs found on the inspection should be included in the inspection report to highlight the seller's effort in preparing the home for sale. And the Housemaster pre-inspection report will be uploaded to a password-protected website, so it's really easy to quickly and safely share the valuable information about your listed home when there is an interested buyer. Local laws in many areas have formal requirements that sellers disclose the condition of the home being sold. Court rulings regarding disclosure are another but less predictable source of stress for your seller. Your local Housemaster professional has the expertise to assist in documenting the home's true condition. Having your listing pre-inspected by a Housemaster inspector provides you with the peace of mind that you have done everything possible to help your seller disclose with regard to condition. It also helps you and your sellers avoid post-sale litigation or once settlement has been made. A pre-inspection can save buyers and sellers a lot of time, money, and headaches, but the advantages will only be realized when all involved parties recognize and trust the inspector chosen to perform the pre-inspection. Housemaster has over 385 independently owned and operated franchises throughout the US and Canada, and over 30 years of experience. So we're unmatched in the home inspection industry. We've been here on Vancouver Island since 2001 and have done over 14,000 inspections here now, so we're quite experienced. It's important for real estate professionals to understand that not all home inspectors are created equal. Housemaster inspectors exceed expectations and credentials. Our inspectors are covered by errors and omissions insurance that protects them as well as you. Housemaster inspectors have been formally trained by a recognized training organization, NIBI, the National Institute of Building Inspectors, CAPI, the Canadian Association of Home and Property Inspectors. This type of professional training assures you that your inspector will be trained in the necessary areas of residential construction and understands the home inspection process and how to communicate his findings in professional terms. Also, the National Institute requires annual testing to ensure our inspectors' knowledge are up to date with changes in the industry. And of course, we have ongoing, unlimited access to ongoing technical support to further provide you and your seller with the information you need to have a complete report on the condition of the home for sale. And finally, the inspection firm that you trust to inspect your listings should offer a written guarantee on their inspection. Buyers of pre-inspected homes can take advantage of report review and walkthrough and receive our limited inspection guarantee. A written limited inspection guarantee assures you and your sellers that the inspection will be both thorough and accurate. So of course we've got lots of tools to help you you can utilize to understand the process of the traditional home inspection, as well as more readily appreciate the value of a pre-inspection. I have some of these here. A DVD that which clearly and concisely explains what to expect in the home inspection and provides seller tips sellers can use to ensure the best possible outcome. Housemaster's Interactive Guide to Home Inspections is a great addition to any listing presentation. This interactive DVD walks a home seller through the inspection process and the various outcomes that may occur. This vivid portrayal is a great way to show your home sellers that you understand what they're going through. And because our report is completed by the inspector on site and then uploaded to our safe, secure webpage, the seller can be kept in the loop in real time regarding concerns that may arise from the home inspection report. Housemaster's exclusive referral liability protection program protects you from liability arising solely from recommendation of Housemaster. So you can share Housemaster with every time you give out our name to buyers and sellers alike. And of course, nothing really compares to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about and has years of experience. So our inspectors are all very well trained in communication, although I may not have seen that today, but we're very easy. We put everybody at ease, we try to anyways. And of course, our inspectors will take really good care of the homeowner and their home. We certainly respect that. So, our tools will help you prepare your home seller to see the home inspection with a positive outlook. And with the tips we provide, they may be able to reduce anxiety about the process in general. When presented with the Housemaster pre-inspection program, many sellers see the value and advantages right away and go with the Housemaster pre-inspection. But for those who do not, an offer is already on the table. Our information and website can definitely assist the seller in avoiding disappointment and ultimately sell their house. So thank you. And that's a little talk on what to expect from a home inspection. Do we have any questions or anything I can answer for you? Yeah.
Could you comment on poly B plumbing in this area?
It was in every house that most of us built back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It is since, of course, we all know, and we've been telling people about this since 2001, but it lost its CSA approval. Some insurance companies are now starting to add I know one company in particular has a $10,000 deductible on water concerns. That if you have that plumbing in there, but not every insurance company does do that. So it's not a blanket statement you can say right at this point. But certainly it's lost its accreditation. Now we're on to PEX plastic, which we're already getting notifications out of some of our American offices that there are already concerns with that. Made by man, it will fail, but certainly poly B is something everybody needs to know about because right now nobody's asking you to take it out as far as I know, but that's probably the next step. Dan, did you have?
Yeah, are you, is Housemaster going to be doing air quality testing?
We do air quality testing, absolutely, and mold sampling, yeah.
So you do that now already?
Yeah, we have for a couple of years. We're associated with Pro Labs, and so it's a very quick turnaround. We get the samples in one day, and we usually get the results back within 24, 48 at the very most hours.
Okay. The Pro Labs, is that the Canadian company?
Yes, their office is actually in Oakville, in Ontario. Yeah, that's where we send their things.
And are you going to be starring in the DVD there?
No, I stumbled there. But you can look at it. I'll give you one. Yeah. But also in conjunction with that, we're trying to get more of an eco, like we were eco energy auditors, but before the government's dropped out of their sponsorship of that. But we still have the blower doors. We have the real thermal imaging cameras with trained guys that have taken the full thermal imaging courses, not just Canadian Tire camera. So we're going to be organizing that because it's amazing what you can show people about how to save money on their houses, with just a few upgrades. So that's one thing we're pretty excited about.
Can you just transfer if the seller uses your services to do the pre-sale or pre-listing inspection? Do you just transfer that to the buyer?
Yeah, what we do with that is we schedule an appointment, and we have we go back through the house again with the new buyer, so he walks through the house with the inspector, so he can once again explain how all the systems work in the home. You can document any changes that the seller has done. Like often the seller will have taken it, said, oh gee, I'm going to change that hot water tank that's 12 years old or something like that. So we document any upgrades, and then we transfer our guarantee and the complete package over to the new people. Yeah.
What's the fee associated with that?
Less than half price. Like it's about $150 or something like that, I think.
And is the pre-listing inspection less money than
No, it was supposed to be more because of the signage and the more costs involved, but we've just kept it as the same as our regular buyer's inspection. And it actually, it's because we don't, they need to know exactly what's going on with their house just the same as a buyer would need to know. So it's the same, really, it's the same format, the same inspection. We don't, we just tell them the truth like we do with everybody. Sure.
You mentioned about the buyers who did do the open inspection. Do you like that, or do you like me to come to
Well, it's certainly easier and faster for us to not have that, but I think that they do learn a lot. So minimally, we like to get them there for at least an hour, so they can actually see what's going on in the house. And often people spend more time buying a pair of shoes than they do buying a house. So nice to give an opportunity.
stay the whole time?
I'm sorry.
I've had some say they want to stay.
Yeah, we certainly do, and sometimes they bring their extended families, and but we just we have to be. That's part of our training too. Seriously, is how to focus on what you're doing and still be able to talk to 10 people around you. So, any other? Yeah.
Any issues that have come up in the area from your pre-inspection to another company's inspection after, Carl? I don't know of anybody.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
No, we've never had that. We've always, we like to think that we're very thorough, and actually, it's kind of hurtful, but we had I had a realtor the other day telling one of the guys, said, one of our inspectors was out on Saturday working and said, well, gee, we haven't seen you for a while. He says, yeah, well, we only put you on the hard ones, or if I was buying a house, we'd want you, but, you guys are putting in too much detail. So I don't know how you can judge that. Like some people can accept details and others can't, but.
No, I
Yeah.
wondered because it would seem that there could.
Oh, I see your point totally, and absolutely it could be. Anybody could still, if they hide it, but I think most people that do with the pre-inspection, they're actually trying to be upfront. We've had buyers and sellers, really feel comfortable at the end, like everybody's being treated fairly. So, anything else on the home inspection?
Just mention the disclosure as far as buyers going through the inspection with you, realtor having to be present, homeowners having to know that the buyer's going to be in there and going to be with you for 2 or 3 hours.
I'm sorry, is we have to do something about that, you say, or?
Well, we just want to make sure that the home inspectors also understand that if you're in there with a buyer and the buyer's going through the property,
Mhm.
that there either has to be a realtor present or the realtors have to have made those arrangements.
And when we have professional office staff too that explains the whole process to our clients prior to going in there, and certainly we say, as far as we're concerned, we're okay with whatever you want, but you have to clear that with your realtor, because every company and different jurisdiction seems to have more formal rules or less formal rules, but certainly if the realtor has to be there, well, that's going to that makes sense too, because we're not babysitters, so
The seller has to be aware.
Yeah, exactly, and I can certainly see their concern on that, but we defer to the realtors for sure on that. Well, thank you very much for your time and attention. Great. Thanks.
Thank you, Carl. That was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll leave some of these things up here if anybody's looking for